Hillary Clinton started this presidential race as the sure winner. Everybody thought that eventually she will be granted or crowned the queen of the Democratic Party, but that is not the case. Bernie Sanders has proven to be a worthy opponent and is actually ahead of her in the early state polling in Iowa and New Hampshire. And we see that there's a phenomenon going on that is really worrying for Clinton camp. She is tanking faster than she did back in 2008 when Barack Obama stole the nomination from her at a moment that most of the people thought that she will get the nomination. The environment was different because there was three strong candidates, so the anti-Clinton vote was divided between Edwards and Barack Obama. But now we see that it's only two. It's Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. O'Malley is still there, but polling at 3%, he really is not a variable in the equation. But we see that Hillary Clinton is struggling again to become the for sure winner of the Democratic nomination.
Well, there are a couple different factors at play here. Like you said, in 2008, there were 3 viable candidates. Now there's only 2. Also, Barack Obama in 2008 had a very unique ability to anticipate what people were going to say on the opposing side and absorb that into his messaging, into a strategy. So he's really able to take the wind out of a lot of the GOP sails and also out of Hillary's sails when it came to her blatant, attacks on him as it got closer and closer to the DNC convention. And now what you have is Hillary, and she's still kind of doing the exact same thing that she did in 2008, but the votes aren't split 3 ways. Yep. It's just her and Bernie. And she started to go on the defense again, rather than trying to be smart about it. She's never really been able to craft a message in a way that says, hey, I'm here, I have all of this experience, but I'm still gonna go on the defense and choose the attack mode instead of taking the high road and playing that in her favor.
A lot of pandering to the black community. He's pandering to the Latino community with the abuelita thing. For me, it's very important also to note that Bernie Sanders has been able to rally around a group of voters that are very quick to see someone that is flip-flopping. And Bernie Sanders has been really good at showing how, from the 2008 campaign to the 2016 campaign, Hillary Clinton has very, very different positions in key issues. Many of them could be tracked down to the fact that she's been getting paid as a public speaker by many companies, by Wall Street, by the health insurance industry, by Big Pharma, to give speeches that is really hard for her to separate completely from special interest, something that Bernie Sanders has been drilling at the forefront of his campaign, that we need to pay attention. And also the fact that Hillary Clinton, very much like the Republican field, has an experience and a focus on foreign policy.
She's run a presidential campaign before and lost in this very same way. Barack Obama was really smart about his messaging, how he was raising funds from the everyday people. He was avoiding, in the beginning, it was a lot of crowdfunding from his supporters, very similar to what Bernie is doing now. And you would think that Hillary Clinton and her camp would somehow be able to say, well, you know what, we've seen this before. We know what this looks like, so maybe we should try to get ahead of it. She's gone almost out of her way to distance herself from Bill Clinton. But at the end of the day, when the Clinton administration left office, the economy was great. There were a lot of positive things that tanked after we had, George Bush in office. And so instead of running on a platform of trying to individually cater to, these demographics and trying to pull in votes, she needs to say, hey, you know what? Barack Obama has laid a lot of ground here with the economy, with student loans, with healthcare, all of these things. I'm going to come in and I'm going to set this on fire and take it to the next level. But she's not doing that. And I think what is happening here is you're starting to see people who don't find her relatable, who expect transparency from their politicians after decades of not having that. And they want people to be held accountable. And the thing with Bernie is that there's a interest from voters that are saying, you know what, I know this guy, I can hold him accountable. They feel that there's a relationship there. But with Hillary, she's flip-flopping so much. The special interests are so ingrained in her campaign and her funding. It's like you're basically voting in somebody that's already been here for decades in the office.
And it's representing part of that system of corruption that many say, well, we'll go back to the Clinton years. The Clinton years were good. But it was the Clinton years that led into the 2008 crisis that put so many people in harm's way. So we have to be careful that not to see a 1% that is blue and think that is better than the red 1%. It's the 1% at the end of the day. And Bernie Sanders is pushing that idea that we need to start paying attention to those issues that we can see every day in our neighborhood, in our wallet, in the way this country is being run domestically, and stop heeding to the fear mongering about what's happening in the Middle East, the threat of ISIS to the existence of the United States. The president came in his State of the Union address and said, that idea that the United States is not the most powerful country in the world is wrong. ISIS is not a threat. So I think that it's important, and I think Bernie is doing a great job. We have a graph that shows exactly how fast Hillary Clinton is tanking. You can see compared to 2008, her national lead is going fast down quickly. Now, there's a caveat. These are the first early states. And Bernie Sanders' struggles in non-white states are the ones that follow after these primaries. So these numbers might change really quickly, really fast. But at the same time, we are seeing a cycle that we've seen before that might cost Hillary Clinton the nomination.